Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is 12:30, and just as promised, we are going to get started with this training session today. We are starting the recording, so for those that may have to leave early or would like to reference this training at a later time, you will be able to find it in our website. So today we are going to focus on using Canvas to teach web-based courses. This training session today is brought to you by the Office for Academic Innovation. My name is Diana Benavides, and with me is
Mahendra Rock.
So welcome, and just a broad overview of our training today is we are going to show you how we can take this module template and modify it, organize it so that it fits a web-based course and how it can help us enhance that experience in the web-based courses. Some housekeeping items. We ask that you please keep yourself muted during our training, and we will try to leave a few minutes at the end for you to ask questions. In the meantime, you can use the chat portion of Zoom to type in your comments or your questions as well. And just a reminder that we have a virtual office hours that are also available to you all to come and join us and ask your questions, very individual questions, and we'll be able to help you out in there too. Also, an invitation to check out our resources in our lms.tamu.edu. You are going to be able to find resources, documentation to help you make the move. If you have been teaching in Blackboard and haven't made the move yet and need some resources, find some information there on our website to move from Blackboard to Canvas. You will also be able to find other resources such as like working on Zoom, proctoring with Zoom, as well as our training and support schedule, which is what we are showing you right now. We haven't updated this schedule. It's still showing the schedule for this week. We usually update the training schedule on Friday afternoon. So at some point today, you will be able to see the updated schedule, what's happening next week. But as you can see, this week we focus on all the different 5 modalities that the spring semester is going to offer. And next week, I can give you a heads up of what's happening next week. But next week, we're going to focus on Google Drive and Canvas and media site training. So stay tuned for those training sessions if you are interested. And then also we have reorganized our video library. This is where we usually link our training sessions that we record. So you can see that they're more organized in Canvas, proctoring tools, Zoom, and eCampus video training materials as well. So keep this place in mind. And moving along, our main goal for today is to help you identify. We are hoping that by the end of this session, you will be able to identify best practices for organizing and labeling Canvas modules to support and enhance the student learning experience in the web-based course modality. So from here on, we are going to navigate to our Canvas practice course. And we are going to show you what the template is going to have available when for you once you get those spring semester Canvas shells. Okay, so here is one of the first things that you're going to be able to see on that spring semester shell. You're going to have an instructor module. This instructor module, if you are not familiar with the fall semester, it came with a template and it came with this instructor module, but it had more and more pieces. And so it has been a little bit more compacted into like these simpler versions of these fall semester. So this is going to be a little bit more concise for you to follow. We ask that instructors do not post this module, like do not publish it. This is going to be information for you to get familiar on how you can customize and adapt these content to your needs. So it's got information on, make sure you set your course navigation to the items that you're going to need, that you can customize your modules with the items that you need, that you check your course settings, and then you also customize that course card that shows on the dashboard for you and for the students. There is also information on how to utilize those graphics, those icons that will be available for you, how to utilize these buttons that can be used by week or by month, depending on how you decide to organize your modules, and then other graphics such as the footers and dividers and links to documents that are going to allow you to modify these homepage items. In the month of November, we are going to offer these trainings where we actually go piece by piece on how to help you customize these templates. But today we focus more on the modality. So these will be extras that will come in your instructor module as well. There is a slide presentation template, an infographic template that you are welcome to use. And then additional support for the instructors as well. It's got our contact information for academic innovation. And so just a friendly reminder, keep that one published. If you don't want it at the top, you can always drop it to the very bottom of all the modules so that maybe it's not distracting for you. Another module that is going to come with your template is the student experience resources. We ask that you do keep these one published, and there is very little need for customizing. There is very little because it focuses on the minimum syllabus requirements. And as you may know, the faculty senate members are the ones that they require you to have all of these key pieces in your syllabus. So there's really not need for you to change anything. However, you may add things that are pertaining to your specific course. So that's something that you could do. And then next, we have resources that are going to help our students get familiar with Canvas. This is going to be very good for those students that are first generation, have never taken online courses, have never been in Canvas to take online courses. So this is going to be something very, very helpful for them to understand how to take quizzes in Canvas, how to check their grades, how to participate in a discussion forum, how to submit an assignment, and so on and so forth. Help desk central information as well in case they need support, and also academic resources at the bottom. Those are links to the different websites for student resources. And as we continue, we have more resources. These are, school resources, parking, transportation, the minimum computer requirements are in there too. So as you can see, there is very little need for you to modify this. This one is especially important for you to modify is the online office hours page. That's something you can see there is the Learn Ipsum that is placeholder text, but that's because it's for you to customize and tell your students how you are going to provide online office hours. So just a reminder, keep that one published. Very little for you to customize to your course. Then we are going to talk about a welcome a start here module. This is not going to come in your spring template. It's not going to be part of your spring template, but as instructional designers of the the Office for Academic Innovation, we highly encourage you to consider this a template that, a module that you can build for your courses and help your students get started on the right foot. So we suggest you have a course overview that is going to allow the students to have an idea of what the expectations of the course are, right? The objectives of the course and how you have organized your course, and about your instructor page that is, make yourself human and just let the students know who you are. You know, if it will be great if you create a video. It doesn't have to be long, a 1 minute, 2-minute video where you let the students know who you are and that you're excited to teach this course and have these students part of your class. A course resources page where you can share, you know, what materials are going to be used in the class, maybe links to where they can find these materials. A course question board that is going to give the students a place for them to ask questions and where everyone can see them and they can learn from those questions as well. And something that I suggest is, you know, other students can help each other learn as well and answer these questions, unless they're questions that are, you know, more personal. They're like maybe a grade or something like that, or an accommodation request. And there is an introduce yourself question board as well, where you can give the students that chance to start building community just from the very beginning of the class, and they can help support each other and learn a little bit about like who is joining this class, who are my classmates. Some extras that we have added in here in this Start Here module is an academic integrity, a syllabus review. As we know, a syllabus is our contract that we have, you know, is where we're specifying the expectations that we have for the students, grading schemes, and so you want to have like maybe a quiz where the students get that acknowledgement, and then a semester feedback survey that you get to decide when which points of the class are going to be critical for you to get feedback from your students. So feel free to adapt, but create a Start Here module that is going to help the students. And it's a Start Here module that can be published maybe the week before, maybe the weekend before the semester starts. We sometimes see requests by the students asking us, hey, I'm still not seeing my course. Like my course is not ready. I want to be able to see what is the textbook that I need, or I need to be able to see the contact information of my professor, or so on and so forth. So that could be the module that you can publish on the days preceding the course, so students can still have something to see, something to access before the first day of class. This is the module template that is going to be part of the spring semester. This is a template that is generic. Everybody is going to have access to this template. And this is what we're going to show you how we're going to customize it to adapt, to be adapted for a web-based course modality. So you can see that it's divided with headers. It is clearly organized with text headers, weekly overview, weekly activities, and a weekly review. And then under each text header, you can see that there are a few items, and we have an overview and a to-do list, a presentation page, and another content page. Then the weekly activities include a sample of an assignment, a sample of a discussion board, and a sample of a quiz. And then on the weekly review, there is a page for a review, a wrap up, or looking ahead. So I'm going to turn it over to Mahindra, and she's going to show us how she took this template and adapted for a web-based course modality. So take it over, Mahindra.
Yeah, thank you, Deanna. So one of the things that we often wonder is what truly is a web-based course in the first place, because there's so many modalities, and there's like mixed and high flexed and remote only and face-to-face. And so if we could simply think about everything is in this online environment, right? It's an online class where all of the content, all of your recorded lectures are placed in lieu of a live face-to-face meeting, right? They're all going to be delivered here online. There's no required defined meeting times, and perhaps you offer online office hours instead. You give them opportunities to be able to have that personal experience with you. So this mode is typically limited to distance learning, distance education sections designed for the online formats, because the exams are also given remotely. And one of the things that Deanna and I struggled with was, what's the difference between this and remote? Like, what's the major difference here? And with remote, the important thing to understand is that It's different from online because it strives to recreate the classroom environment, right? The student is at home or they're in their dorm and they're learning from a virtual environment. They're logging into a virtual classroom there through Zoom. It's scheduled times. You have scheduled times, maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays or when you're having your lecture. But with the fully online class, students are learning really through a self-paced environment, right? They might be watching pre-recorded lecture videos instead, or reading online text and accessing third-party tools that have been integrated into the course to really help to support them, make it more interactive, make it more robust. And the online experience is typically part of a bigger program where a student might be working towards completing their degree fully online. So, and there are benefits to this. Online education is truly flexible for students who, have this internet-based education. It allows them to work while they're taking online courses, and we don't know what our students are experiencing right now. Perhaps for a non-traditional student, they might have a kid at home. They might have to take care of the kid during the day that demands their attention. And so this flexibility really can help them to achieve their desired goals and to help them to complete their degrees online as well. And while this doesn't have scheduled face-to-face or virtual meeting times, there are deadlines. So there are ways that students can adhere to the priorities of an online course by meeting certain deadlines for projects. They might be due like a week from now or 2 weeks from now. So if they're looking for something that's truly, truly flexible, an online course is the best way to go for them. And for faculty, the really neat thing is that you have the ability to kind of quickly and easily improve your integration. And one of the tips that we recommend, and really for all the modalities within Canvas, is to kind of keep an unpublished page going. And you could have it in your instructor module where you're taking notes throughout the course of your semester on things that worked and really things that didn't work and things that you can modify when you're moving forward. So let's take a look at this module. And when we're thinking about modifying the modules within any modality and within your Canvas course, one of the things that we want to consider is that we want to keep in mind simplicity. We want to think about the structure of the content, the assignments, how we can support our student learning in the easiest way. How can we make it easily navigable for them to support their learning? And that goes for if you're teaching a face-to-face course, what kinds of resources can you easily add within your Canvas course to extend their learning outside of the classroom? So there are really three overarching key things that we want you to consider no matter the modality. And that is communication, communicating with your students, having empathy, and then also keeping it simple. So keep it simple, sweetie. So we're going to talk about communication first and foremost. And I want to go back to the introductory module that Deanna was going over earlier. This, we believe, is really a vital component of your course. Creating this course overview page, this Welcome Start Here module, and oh, by the way, you're free to change it to whatever name you want it to, like, new to Texas A&M, start here. New to this course, start here. You're giving them the most warm, welcome introduction to your course that you possibly can. And in this course overview page, you have an opportunity to really define your overarching objectives for the course, right? You're introducing yourself, and perhaps you're even doing like a video walkthrough of your course. Since you're not going to be meeting with them in a virtual environment or in a face-to-face environment, consider recording a video and embedding it here on this course overview page. You're walking them through the overarching objectives, your expectations for the course. Perhaps you're talking about your expectations for how you want them to respond to their discussions or their peer reviews or their group work. So really this particular module, the Start Here module, and especially the overview page is really, we believe, vitally important no matter the modality. Let me go back to my module. And also in your course, in your Start Here, there's this opportunity to humanize your course, right? Because there's that lack of that virtual environment or that face-to-face, introducing yourself as an instructor. So taking your time to even record your voice, to maybe record yourself in your backyard or in your kitchen to allow them to feel like they can really reach out and collaborate with you and ask you questions and feel comfortable within your course, since it's a fully online environment. Providing them with lots of opportunities to go to resources. Perhaps you have all of your lecture notes linked here, and giving them an opportunity to ask you questions on the course question board. Deanna talked about that a little bit. And then allowing them to introduce themselves, to talk about themselves, to respond to each other within this initial discussion. We did talk about allowing them to go through the syllabus and acknowledge that they've read your syllabus, because they won't have an opportunity to review this with you in a face-to-face course, right? They have to go in and take the time and read it. And then offering some student feedback, and even having an initial feedback survey, just where are they living? Where are they coming from? How are they learning remotely? How often are they able to get on to do their coursework? Do they have a set of headphones? What are they most excited about learning in your course? So really offering them an opportunity to provide you with some feedback so that you can get to know them a little bit better in this fully online environment. The next thing I want to talk about is empathy. Thinking about where your students are at, and particularly in this place in time, and offering them opportunities to have discussions within your course. So immediately with that initial discussion at the beginning of that Start Here module, you're giving them an opportunity to get to know you and to get to know other members of their course. Being able to allow them to have group discussions, right? So you're giving them opportunities to have individual discussions, or perhaps you put them into groups and allowing them to collaborate in this online environment. That's immensely important. And then the last thing is, the one key thing to remember is simplicity in your modular structure. When we look at this particular web-based module, it's simple, it's clean, it's cohesive. There's headers to define the sections. We've got the weekly overview, activities, the weekly review, and then some optional resources here. Feel free to change these titles to whatever you feel like makes sense to you. And I wanted to show you an example of a module that I found within the Canvas community. And if you don't know about the Canvas community, it's a wonderful resource where people share resources from all over the world. Here they've showed the headers as engage, explore, expand, evaluate, and extend. And then within those headers, you have an opportunity to list an overview for the week, what your objectives are for that weekly content, what readings they might have to do. In the Explore section, you're listing a presentation. Perhaps this is where you list your lecture notes. You're offering them an opportunity to have group discussions and individual assignments. And you are evaluating their learning through quizzes or an assessment or an exam. We also suggest that you give opportunities for them to possibly remediate their learning. In a face-to-face environment, as an instructor, you can easily read the room normally, right? If you see a lot of blank faces and the students aren't getting it, you can quickly switch to another topic or find a different way in which to share the information or the content. But in an online environment, you must assume that they really don't know anything. So it's all about making sure that you are walking them through the content by adding lecture notes or adding that content on those pages and offering them opportunities to engage, to wonder, to watch a video, reflect upon it within the course, and to apply assignments that are directly related to those weekly objectives that allow them to show their understanding and their knowledge. Some of the things that I've seen other faculty members do are to do quick little exit tickets. So they might have quizzes built in throughout the entire week that allow them the opportunity to have students self-reflect. Am I getting this information? And if I'm not, what can I do? So allowing them opportunities to include mediation or to extend their learning. So as far as simplicity goes, once you have built your actual module, make sure that that is consistent throughout the remainder of your weeks in your semester. So you do week 1 module, you want to make sure that that is consistent throughout so students know what they're looking at. They're not going to be surprised by a different looking module the following week. So as you can see, we've got some headers that have nicely defined the areas in between. You can see that these images here visually show the students that this is a page, and on the page will assume that there's going to be content for me to read or a video to watch or an image to look at. The activities, you'll see the paper with the pencil icon that informs them visually that this is something that they must do. The discussions have this little bubble here that means that they're prompted to do a discussion either in a group or individually. And the rocket ship here shows them that that's a quiz that they are about to take. And I also want to show you what it looks like from the student point of view. So if you click on home in your course as you are building your modules, when you click on student view over here on the right hand side, that gives you an opportunity to really see what the students are seeing. And if I go back to modules, they've got their student experience resources here. They've got their welcome start here module, which we've collapsed previously. And then they've got the web-based module here. And so we highly recommend that you go here often as you're building your course to make sure that that you're thinking about the student perspective and the student's point of view from here. And we have just a few more minutes left, so I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to answer any kind of questions that you may have. And some things that we'll go over before we open it up to questions. So we wanted to go over the training opportunities that we are going to have. Deanna already mentioned the ones that we're having next week, but we are going to be revisiting these training opportunities, all of them with different modalities. We're going to be diving deeper into the actual template that you're going to be receiving. So there'll be some opportunities to go back and review any of these in a video format in addition to later in November. For more resources, always visit us at lms.tamu.edu. We have virtual office hours every day in the morning and in the afternoon. You can also visit us on our social media platforms, YouTube, and also reach out via email. So I'm going to stop the recording right now so that we can have the opportunity to answer some questions.
To learn more, please visit lms.tamu.edu or email us at aihelp@tamu.edu. Thank you.